What's up, guys? This is Doncaster Sandwich coming to you live. Actually, not live, but you know what I mean. Today we're working on the layout, and I need to talk about the baseboard as this is the first episode to the layout update. Now, this is something I'm really excited to do. Doncaster Sandwich, in case you're wondering, the name comes from, well, A3s are made in Doncaster, and there is an A3 named Sandwich, which is the best locomotive to ever exist. But either way, we're working on here. The baseboard here, let's talk about this for a little bit. This is an 8x4 table with no legs. We're using fold-up tables for the time being, but there will be legs eventually. I just don't know what I want to use for the legs. But there will be 4 of these going in a square shape to make a 12x12 layout. But for the time being, I only have enough space for the one until we clean out the storage room. However, this will be the engine yard portion. There will also be a straightaway, an entry yard, and as well as the station plus station yard section. And I'm very excited. Now, the baseboard itself. There are 5 beams going across underneath with 2 of these 8-foot beams going across long ways, of course. They have a screw and a nail in each one to make sure it's held into place. And then we have 3 screws on the top portion, and then as well as 4 screws going down the sides. Now, I'm very excited to get this actually laid out. I'm going to have to take up this cork board though, as I don't have enough yet to make the yard, and I don't have my entry points to the yard, as it's coming with a special train that I've ordered, and it still hasn't arrived yet. It's really weird because this website always gets their stuff to me like really fast, and I don't know why it's taking so long, but I finally got all my express points here all lined up, and these are all left-hand turns, by the way. I only got one right hand, but I feel like it'll serve well. I'm still playing around the yard as I have a diagram, but I feel like a lot of times you need to have your layout actually built up to really understand it. Because I can draw a layout on paper all day, and then when I actually get to build it, it can't always flow like that. And so I always recommend trying it both ways before you actually decide on the final recommendation. But I am taking some inspiration from layouts that I've seen around northeastern territories, as this will be based around England in the northeastern section between 1948 and 1964 of nationalization. But of course, since it is a layout at the end of the day that I can have fun with, there will be some, LNER engines running around, perhaps even LMS and GWR, maybe even Southern, but Southern's my least favorite out of the big 4. Sorry if I offended someone out there, but I'm really excited to get this all laid out. I'm thinking about, for the time being, until I have all my tables up, I'm thinking about having this line going across in the back scene, as the back scene right there is going to be, well, buildings, of course, and walls. And so I'm thinking about having that go continuously around until I have my other tables built and set up. But I really don't know. But this is just a quick update, and perhaps you'll see some photos of me going along for this week's update. Now, I'm waiting on the piece to arrive, as I mentioned earlier, for this turnout right here to have a points track, or a points curve. Should turn out to right there. I honestly don't know how it will look entirely, so I might have to make alterations to these tracks right here. But that's the plan right now. Unfortunately, though, I don't have that piece. But since I have to make 3 more tables, and I have to make space for it, of course I'm going to still work on the layout, but I want to have some fun with it at the same time. So this outer track, I'm actually going to have going around because it'll just take up the space where the buildings would be, and as well as some landscaping right there. So what I'm going to do, and this may affect it, but that should be fine in the final run. That's my siding where an engine and 2 cars or a tender engine can back into the coaling yard area. So let me just show you what's going on here. Here we have a siding. Then we have a 2-row engine shed. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have the 4-row engine shed around here, but I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. And the 4-row engine shed I'm talking about is the one Bachmann made a few years back. And unfortunately, when it does come available, which is very rare, it's always really expensive. So I'm going to keep my eye out for it, and of course, it can be added anytime, and that'd be amazing. But I'm just going to probably have to settle for the 2-row engine shed, and that's facts. Then we also have the sidings over here, which will probably be around the coal hopper area, either there or that siding right there. And then we have some storage lines right there. But I can't wait to have this all up. I'm going to do some test runs in a little bit with a Hornby DCC Select controller that I've gotten in the mixed freight set, as where this J-Class locomotive came. I think that's a J87 or 82. I can't remember exactly because I think on the box it just said 060 tank engine, so that's annoying. Because because for the longest time I thought it was a J72 until I realized that that's not a J72. So I think it's a J80 class, but I want to say 82 or 87. I can't remember exactly. But if you know, please let me know in the comments. I would love to finally get this straight, and so I actually know what engine this is. But it's annoying. It's the only engine I don't know the class of, and it irks me to no end. But anyway, I'm really proud of this layout, and I think it'll look nice. And it'll just be something fun to mess with the loop. But the loop won't be permanent. Unfortunately, I'll probably have to take up these curves right here until I actually get everything situated. But for the meantime and stuff like that, the main yard, which is the, of course, main part, will serve its purpose, and I'll know exactly how it will run. So it'll just be fun to test and play around with. Alright, so after a lot of pain from the fish plates, we now have everything set up to how it will fit and look in the yard. Unfortunately though, I don't know why, but those two tracks came out more crooked than I thought they would be. So I thought they would be completely straight, and they aren't, and it annoys me. But at the same time, it still holds the shape essentially that I want it, so I'm completely fine with that. But for the time being, since I don't have all the pieces together and I don't have the tables, I sort of want to have something I can run. So normally there would be a curve off right here onto there, hit the trucks, but that's always good. But normally I'm going to replace that with a left-hand express point to go there, and then it'll come back along here, and then it'll switch out to this, and this will just be a continuous loop. Because again, right here is just going to be grass, then we're going to have buildings, and that'll be a straightaway, but for the time being it'll be fine. But I'm really excited because we get to test out the electric currents now, so that's fun. But no, I'm just excited to play with this now because I'm happy to have my own custom layout besides a track mat layout. So this has been a long time in the making, and in case you're wondering, this is just the engine yard, so don't worry, there's a lot more to come. Alright, now all the track is laid, and we have the lovely Gadol running around with his two coaches. But yeah, I do have some questions that I'm trying to figure out. One, or pretty much anytime I change the points, connection with my Hornby Select controller goes out. Especially with these 2 points if I'm trying to back an engine into the yard. It's great that the temporary part works, but I want the actual yard to work as well. Because from here down will be gone entirely. This curve will stay the same, and all these tracks right here, but they're just going to be making an L shape essentially onto the next 2 boards. So yeah, I don't really know what to do. I'm at a crossroad here, so I'm going to try to figure out how to fix this. But I think this will probably be the last update for the week's update of working on the table. I think we got a lot done, but hopefully I can finish this connection. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new, maybe inspired you on a track layout as well. And I can't wait to be back next time when hopefully we can figure out the electrical problems. Probably just the controller, because it won't even let me use functions, as that's a TTS sound Gadol. And he's not making any sounds, so press F1, F2, and none of the functions work, so that's fun. But it works on my other controller, so Yeah, I don't understand it, but it's the same controller, so I'm just as confused. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day.